Karens. Most of us have dealt with a Karen at one point in our lives, screaming at us, asking to speak to a manager. But what's the best way to deal with a Karen? Well, let me tell you a story on how I got the ultimate revenge on a raging Karen. It happened while on a Carnival cruise ship. I'm chilling in a hot tub with one other adult and 3 children. The kids start splashing one another, and at first I'm sipping my pina colada like, they're just having fun. Then they kept splashing, and I'm like, all right, f this. So I say, children, stop. At first they did, but kids had the attention span of a gerbil on Skittles, so I just went back to splashing. That's when I cut my hands and pushed as much water as I could into one of the kids' faces. He starts crying because he's a little bitch, or because I pushed a gallon of chlorine in his eyes. Either way, he starts screaming, and his mom, who apparently is the other adult in the hot tub, says, "Did you just hit my child?" I said, "No, ma'am. The water hit your child." She starts cursing me out, saying, "Do you know who I am? I can get you thrown off this boat." Now, under most circumstances, I would try to de-escalate this situation. But I'm on vacation, and I don't give a f***. So I proceed to viciously make fun of this woman. "Ma'am, I was under the impression that fat people had big tits. What happened? Did God punish you with both ugly kids and the body of a manatee? And how are you going to get me thrown off this boat? Bribe the captain with a hand job from your sausage fingers?" Needless to say, she didn't take it very well and gets out of the hot tub screaming for a manager. Fortunately, I'm an expert in talking to staff. So a crew member comes over and says what seems to be the problem. The wild Karen starts going off on how I hit her kid and she wants me thrown off the boat. Staff member then asks me, "What happened?" I said, "I am very sorry you have to deal with this today. You see, I was relaxing in the hot tub when this woman's kids kept splashing me and I asked them to stop." The wild Karen says, "That's not what happened. He's lying." And I said, "Sir, this woman is quite hysterical. I can leave if that works best for you." The Karen screams, "No, I want him thrown off this boat." That's when I turned to her kid and said, "You got water in your eyes, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "That's why you're crying, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "See, they were splashing water, some got into his eyes, and their mother got very upset." Karen starts yelling, "You're a piece of shit. I'm gonna get you thrown off this boat." She's screaming even louder now, and I'm just sitting there smirking, drinking my pina colada. Eventually more staff come and escort her off the pool deck, and I was like, what a great way to start my vacation. But the Karen wasn't finished. You see, a normal person would take the L, walk away, then proceed to enjoy the rest of their vacation. But not a Karen. No. A Karen will ruin their own lives just to try to hurt somebody else's. So this all happened day 1 of the cruise, and there were 4 days left. Now the ship was quite large. It had a passenger capacity of 3,600, so you don't bump into people often. But I did see the Karen 2 more times. The first time was at the casino. Now I'm not a gambler, unless you count spoon-feeding drinks into a girl with daddy issues, but I'm with my friends that are playing